Have you ever felt like you're being drained by others, only to realize they're slowly pulling away from you, and you're left wondering what you did wrong? The sensation is all too familiar for many of us, yet so difficult to pinpoint or address. It's as if we're stuck in a never-ending cycle of giving and giving, only to find that our efforts are met with indifference or, worse, rejection. As we navigate the complexities of human relationships, it's natural to encounter situations where others may be pushing us away. Perhaps it's due to a lack of emotional availability, personal issues, or even a genuine desire to distance themselves from us. Whatever the reason, it's essential to recognize the signs and develop strategies to cope with the feelings of rejection and frustration that can arise. In this video, we'll delve into the reasons why some people may be running away from you, exploring the various motivations and subconscious behaviors that can contribute to this phenomenon. We'll also provide guidance on how to handle the situation, empowering you with the knowledge and tools to address these challenges head-on. Are you tired of investing your time and emotions into relationships that ultimately end up being unfulfilling? You're probably not alone, and that's why we decided to create this video to give you valuable insight into the dynamics of human connection. By understanding the intricacies of relationships and the unconscious patterns that govern our interactions, you'll be better equipped to recognize the red flags and adjust your approach to build stronger, more meaningful connections. As we probe deeper into the complexities of human relationships, it becomes clear that many of us are unwittingly attracted to relationships that are toxic, codependent, or simply unfulfilling. This can be attributed to a myriad of factors, including societal pressures, poor self-esteem, and a lack of self-awareness. The consequences of these unchecked patterns can be devastating, leading to feelings of exhaustion, resentment, and ultimately, burnout. Breaking free from these toxic cycles requires a deep exploration of our own values, desires, and emotional needs. It demands a willingness to confront our deepest fears, insecurities, and unconscious patterns, and to develop healthy boundaries that prioritize our own emotional well-being. This isn't an easy process, but it's essential for cultivating resilience, self-love, and meaningful connections that nourish our souls. In this video, we'll discuss the various signs and symptoms that may indicate someone is pulling away from you, and offer practical. I'll expand the text without changing the tone or style, adding more detail and context while avoiding repetition. Here's the expanded text. Before we dive into this topic, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel for more valuable and practical tips on spirituality and personal growth. Our goal is to provide you with the tools and knowledge you need to live a more balanced, fulfilling, and happy life. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, but taking the time to focus on personal growth is crucial for building strong, lasting relationships. So, why do people often pull away from you? It's essential to recognize that people are drawn to what's positive and uplifting, like a warm and cozy flame that draws them in. They're naturally attracted to individuals who radiate positivity, kindness, and compassion. On the other hand, negative vibes can push people away like a cold, dark shadow that repels them. When you're emitting toxic energy, it's like carrying a heavy burden that weighs you down and pushes others away. One reason people may be distancing themselves from you is that you're not being true to yourself. When you're trying to be someone you're not, or presenting a false image to the world, it can be exhausting and suffocating. People can sense when you're not being genuine, and it's like trying to build a relationship on quicksand. It's unstable and bound to collapse. Authenticity is key to building deep, meaningful connections with others. Another reason people may be pulling away is that you're not listening to them. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in your own thoughts and concerns, but failing to listen to others can be a major turnoff. When someone is speaking to you, make eye contact, nod your head, and actively listen to what they're saying. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Truly hear what they're expressing, and respond with empathy and understanding. Physical touch can also play a role in whether people are drawn to or repelled by you. Research has shown that physical touch releases oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of trust and bonding. When you're freely embracing others, it's like sending a message of warmth and acceptance. On the other hand, people who are uncomfortable with physical touch may feel uneasy or even threatened, which can lead to distance. Additionally, your energy levels and overall well-being can impact. There are some reasons why some people might choose to distance themselves from you. One possibility is that your energy may be unsettling or disturbing to them, evoking a sense of discomfort or unease. This can be due to an unstable or draining presence that makes others feel apprehensive around you. Your aura may be radiating a vibration that's discordant with the people around you, causing them to feel uneasy or on edge. It's possible that your energy is simply incompatible with theirs, making it difficult for them to relax or feel at ease in your presence. Another reason people might avoid you is that you may be creating conflicts or disputes, making others feel anxious or uncomfortable. When you're constantly stirring up issues or bringing tension into a situation, it can be overwhelming for those around you. Everyone values peace and harmony, and in some cases, avoiding someone who's consistently creating conflict can be the easiest solution. It may be that people have learned to associate your company with stress or conflict, and therefore, they're naturally drawn to avoid you. It's also possible that people are avoiding you because you may be relying too heavily on a particular friendship or relationship. When you're overly dependent on someone, it can create an imbalance in the dynamic, making the other person feel suffocated or trapped. By maintaining a healthy distance, they're able to maintain their own sense of autonomy and independence. Additionally, people may recognize that your reliance on this relationship is an unhealthy pattern and are therefore respecting your need for space. Furthermore, your personality or habits may be triggering undesirable responses in others. For instance, you may be a perfectionist, always pushing for more, which can create resentment in those around you. Alternatively, you may be someone who's consistently late or unreliable, causing frustration in others. When people perceive your behavior as problematic, they may naturally want to avoid you to avoid the stress or anxiety that comes with being around you. Moreover, people may be avoiding you due to your communication style. You may be dominating conversations or consistently interrupting others, causing them to feel unheard or ignored. On the other hand, you may be highly analytical and detail-oriented, which can lead to lengthy and complex discussions that leave others feeling fatigued. When people feel like they're not being heard or understood, they may choose to distance themselves from you. It's also possible that you're simply going through a challenging time in your life, and people are respecting your need for space to work through your issues. As we navigate the complexities of human connection, it's crucial to acknowledge that the relationships we form can either nourish or deplete our emotional and spiritual well-being. Sometimes, when someone feels overwhelmed by the demands placed upon them by our presence in their life, they may instinctively pull away to recharge and regain their emotional equilibrium. This natural response is often misinterpreted as a personal rejection or abandonment, leading to feelings of hurt, betrayal, and confusion. It's essential to recognize that individuals have their own emotional burden to bear, and our actions, words, and behaviors can either contribute to or alleviate this load. In reality, relationships are a delicate balance of give and take, where each person's emotions, needs, and behaviors intersect and impact one another. Studies have consistently shown that our emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and empathetic abilities play a significant role in determining the quality and resilience of our relationships. For instance, research has demonstrated that individuals with high emotional intelligence tend to exhibit greater empathy, effective communication skills, and conflict resolution strategies, leading to more harmonious and resilient relationships. Conversely, individuals with lower emotional intelligence may struggle with emotional regulation, leading to increased conflict, misunderstandings, and ultimately, relationship dissatisfaction. Moreover, our own emotional and psychological well-being can significantly influence our behavior within a relationship. When we're struggling with our own emotional demons, it's crucial to recognize that our emotions and behaviors are intricately linked, and that by acknowledging and working through our own emotional challenges, we can adopt healthier, more empathetic, and supportive responses within our relationships. By doing so, we can create a more balanced and nurturing environment, where both parties feel heard, validated, and empowered. Ultimately, relationships are a dynamic and continuous process, requiring effort, compassion, and open communication from all parties involved. By acknowledging the interconnectedness of our emotions, needs, and behaviors, we can cultivate more resilient, fulfilling, and meaningful connections that nourish our emotional and spiritual well-being. The notion that negative communication is the leading cause of social conflict is a notion that has been extensively researched and validated. In fact, the majority of conflicts that arise from interactions, whether personal or professional, can be attributed to a lack of effective communication skills. Research has shown that interactions often begin positively, with individuals communicating effectively and constructively. However, it's not uncommon for these interactions to quickly spiral out of control, with negative emotions and conflicts arising due to a lack of understanding and miscommunication. A study conducted by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, a leading expert in positive psychology, found that during these heated debates, the body's stress response is triggered, leading to a range of physiological and psychological changes. The body's fight or flight response mechanism is activated, preparing the individual for a perceived threat, while the mind's response mechanism switches to survival mode. In this state, individuals become less rational, more emotional, and more willing to engage in unhealthy and unproductive communication behaviors. They may become defensive, agitated, and resistant to listening, leading to a further escalation of tensions and a greater likelihood of conflict. In light of these findings, it's clear that practicing patience, understanding, and tolerance is crucial when dealing with challenging situations. This is particularly important in conflict resolution, where the ability to listen actively, remain calm, and communicate effectively can mean the difference between a productive and unproductive outcome. Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett, a leading researcher in emotional intelligence, has emphasized the importance of self-awareness and emotional regulation in effective communication. She suggests that individuals should strive to understand their own emotions and triggers, as well as those of others, in order to communicate effectively and avoid misunderstandings. By developing these skills, individuals can better navigate the complexities of social conflict, reducing the likelihood of escalation and increasing the chances of a peaceful resolution. By practicing patience, understanding, and tolerance, we can create a more harmonious and productive social environment, where constructive communication prevails. Here is the expanded text. How emotions are made, a phrase that resonates deeply, as learning to actively respond instead of emotionally react could be a game changer in many stressful situations. Think of the countless times when, in the heat of the moment, we lash out or say things we later regret, only to replay the moment in our minds, wondering what we could have done differently. Who hasn't been there? Now, the question becomes, how do we respond instead of react? Here's a practical tip. When faced with an intense conversation or a high-stress situation, take a deep breath and step back for a moment before reacting. It's astonishing how much of a difference this simple act can make. Not only will you gain a clearer head, but you'll also buy yourself some time to process what's happening and reflect on your emotions. Often, some quality time alone and reflection will put things into perspective. You might find that your initial reaction was fueled by fear, anxiety, or even miscommunication. By taking a step back, you can reevaluate the situation, reframe your thoughts, and respond in a more thoughtful and intentional manner. This, in turn, can lead to more effective communication, stronger relationships, and a greater sense of control. A survey by the American Psychological Association revealed that over half of all adults experience chronic stress, which can have devastating effects on both physical and mental well-being. When we allow ourselves to become emotionally reactive, we're more likely to escalate situations and perpetuate unhealthy patterns. By developing the skills to respond thoughtfully, we can break free from these cycles and cultivate a more positive. Moreover, Responding instead of reacting requires a deep understanding of our emotional triggers and patterns. What are the things that push your buttons? Are you sensitive to criticism, rejection, or perceived slights? Once you're aware of your emotional hotspots, you can develop coping strategies, practice self-compassion, and work to rewire your brain for more balanced responses. The good news is that developing this skill is within reach. By incorporating mindfulness, journaling, and emotional awareness into your daily routine, you can begin to retrain your brain and cultivate a greater sense of emotional intelligence. It may take time and practice, but the payoff is well worth the effort. A life marked by greater ease, more meaningful connections, and a deeper sense of inner peace. And, as always, consider becoming an integral part of this journey of discovery and growth by subscribing to our channel and clicking that notification bell, which will ensure you stay informed and inspired with timely updates on new content about spirituality, personal growth, and a multitude of related topics, allowing you to continually cultivate your mind, body, and spirit.